Hey, it's Caroline, career and leadership coach. And today I want to talk to you about being vanilla. So many people are vanilla. And don't get me wrong, I like vanilla, just plain vanilla. But in your career and in life, you don't want to be vanilla. You don't want to be just like everyone else. I know it's scary, but you want to stand out. You want to be different. You want to be authentic. Now, to bring this home, I was writing down and journaling on what's my story? And I thought it would be interesting for me to share it with you guys. So when I was 18, so basically a lot of you guys know I'm originally from Belgium, came to Australia and so on, started up my own business. That's basically the big story. But if you hone in, when I was 18, I studied just a technical degree. And basically they didn't think it would be possible for me to go to uni, or if I got into uni, it was very unlikely I would finish the whole degree because it would be too difficult. But hey, that didn't stop me. So I did a bachelor in communication. And even in the last year, I got a toxic shock syndrome and I was put in an artificial coma. And when I woke up, I was half paralyzed because basically my right side of the brain didn't have enough, or my left side of the brain didn't have enough oxygen, which affected my right side basically. And therefore I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, and I couldn't write with my right hand. So I still have problems with my right hand writing, and now I'm left-handed. Anyway, didn't really stop me, even though people said to me like it was unlikely that I will graduate and it was okay for me to actually redo my studies. I graduated from my school, from my Bachelor of Communication. And then basically, like I couldn't really walk 100% yet. So they said, oh, it will be difficult for her to find a job and to really hold a steady or a good job, because I couldn't really clearly talk. I still had a little bit of an R problem and a lisp problem, and I couldn't walk straight. But hey, didn't stop me. I started work as an executive recruiter. And so then 3 years in, I taught myself how to write left, how to walk again. And then basically I met my husband back in Belgium, then my boyfriend, and he said, oh my God, I would love to go to Australia, but hey, it will be so hard and nearly impossible to get into the country. Did it stop me? No. And so we got to Australia. We got a job that brought us here, and I got a job for him too. And so we started working there. And during my career, I have had ups and downs. I loved every bit of it, and I learned so much. But I always was true to myself. And sometimes I was liked. In most cases, I was liked. But in some cases, I was disliked. For example, at one of my jobs, I gave blood, sweat, and tears, worked crazy long hours, went above and beyond for the company. I loved it. But in 3 years' time, I had 4 different general managers. And the last general manager didn't like me. She wanted a yes person, and that's not me. So I will question things. I will say my opinion. And I really accept other one's opinions also, but I will challenge and question why we do things the way we do things and why things are done in a certain way. And she didn't like that, and she pushed me out. And it wasn't the last time neither. So in my last job, exactly the same. I think I had 4 different bosses in the years I was there. And the last boss, and we didn't see eye to eye. So that's basically and we had to separate our ways. And so there's so many things, and it's so easy to be sorry for yourself, to actually be scared and go back into your shell and stay there because it's safer, and to be not too loud, not too direct, not to ruffle feathers too much, not to rock the boat too much. And when you do, sometimes the first instant it hurts, because you give so much to a certain company. You are devoted, committed, you go above and beyond for a certain role. At least I did. And then suddenly somebody above you decides they don't like you, or they don't like the way you operate, or they don't like the way you say yes or no, and they push you out. And it's like, and that basically feels like a stab in the gut, and you feel this, like this unfairness, but more or less you feel like you have done something wrong and you should change. You shouldn't have been so loud. You shouldn't have been so opinionated. You just should have sucked it up. And I remember at the time, my dad was here, and my dad asked me, like, he comes from Belgium, and in Belgium, most of my family, my friends are very conservative. Like, they stay with one company for 10, 15, 20 years, and they just like don't like to rock the boat. So, and here in Australia, people like to change every 3 to 5 years. And if they don't change outside the company, then they change inside the company. But they don't stick in the same role for 10, 15, 20 years like they do in Belgium. Anyway, so my dad was here, and he asked me, he said, like, Caroline, this is the second time. Don't you think like something is wrong with you? And I said, no, Dad. I wouldn't change a thing, because I stayed true to myself. And yes, I will learn things from it. And yes, I could have done things different, because in hindsight, a beautiful thing called hindsight, you can look at things like, okay, maybe I should have done this approach better, because that I would still be authentic, but approaching it this way would have been a better outcome. But the essence will never change. I will never change. I'm allowed. I'm an extrovert. I state my opinion, but I change my opinion. If you have a really good angle of a story and it's believable to me, then I was like, hey, you have a good point. And I will incorporate that in my views, because we need to challenge our own beliefs. Because most of the time, the people I work with and people I see, our own beliefs keep us stuck. It's because all the stories and the layers and the filters that we have accumulated, they tell us a story that we shouldn't do this or we shouldn't do that, and we should stick in our own lane and we shouldn't be too loud. But that is just dimming our own light. And if that is too long, and if you do that for a too long time, you lose connection with you and who you truly are and what you truly have to offer. And that is basically what I see all the time. People who just like, who are brilliant, smart, passionate senior professionals, but they've just like drifted away from their inner power, because they have been maybe offered opportunities and they have taken them, and maybe some opportunities were really good and others were really bad, but they haven't really been intentional about the career direction that they wanted to take. And sometimes it goes further than your career, because the way you do one thing often is the way you do everything. So it's often like the whole life, it's not being intentional, and they've just been drifting left, right, and center, not really thinking about, okay, is the next step really in line with who I am and how I want to be perceived and how I want to position myself and what I want to achieve in my life and in my career. And it's that conscious thought that you need to step up. Because if you are just relying on a strategy of working hard and really being liked by everyone, that is not the right strategy to step up. Yes, it might have worked until like maybe the early years of your management career. But if you're in middle management and want to step up to executive management, or even if you don't want to step up, but you just want to be heard by your organization, that your ideas make an impact, that you're visible, that when you bring an idea, that the executives support your idea and say like, hey, that is brilliant. Let's do this, and put some resources behind it, so you have the freedom to create and achieve what you know you're capable of. And to do that, you need to step into your authenticity. Now, somebody just said the other day, and it rang so true everywhere for me. It's like, the enemy of authenticity is trying to be liked. If you are a person that constantly does things because they want to be liked, that is the enemy of authenticity. Because you can't be yourself, you can't express it if you're constantly worrying if the other person will, damn it, like it, because that doesn't work together. If you are authentic, if you are true to yourself, yes, you will have lovers and haters, but it is that polarity that you need to actually define yourself. And people won't hate you, so don't worry. It's not haters, but people will just disagree with your opinion, and that is okay. It's not because you disagree with somebody that you can't work together to create something better or powerful or more impactful. But it's because when you stay small and you stay in that state of being vanilla, that it's nothing good is going to come from it. You're just going to be like everyone else. And believe me, sorry, my kids are in the background. Believe me, like, not a lot is unique anymore in this world, but you are unique. You are unique. Like, you have certain skills, experience that you dealt with certain stakeholders, and that combination, and you have certain talents and passions, and all of that makes you unique. Yet, a lot of people don't communicate that. A lot of people don't know how to connect the dots between everything that they have ever done. And so that keeps them stuck to where they are. So I would invite you to first question, where are you keeping yourself small? Where are you like dimming your own light? Because it is there that I can help you. I'm starting a 6-week leadership program for people who are ready to grow, ready to expand, ready to step into their leadership, and ready to not step into their leadership. They are already in leadership position, but more expanding their influence. Because it's not because you have the title of being a leader that you truly are a leader. You need to have a strong personal brand. Actually, it's not only a personal brand, a leadership brand. So during the 6 weeks, what we will do is we build your leadership brand. And with building your leadership brand, I'm going to say, like, everybody has a personal brand. And like I said before, a lot of people are not intentional about how they are going to be perceived by others, how others see them, because they don't often know how to see themselves, and they're downplaying that. But anyway, don't get me started on that. So it's really taking your personal brand and up-leveling that to a leadership brand, shifting that to a leadership brand. So you create basically a new, or reinvent yourself, and reinventing yourself in a way like that person always been inside, but we're just going to amplify it. We're going to amplify your talent, your strengths. We're going to understand what your leadership blueprint is, your leadership style. And then we're also going to talk about like how to overcome certain emotional triggers, because whenever something changes, like you're changing the way you have been downplaying yourself, we're changing that. And with any type of change, you're going to get emotionally triggered. You're going to get an influx of self-doubt. You're going to second guess yourself. You're going to want to stay safe, because that's what the brain does. They want to keep you safe, and say like, hey, no, get back to your box, because that's safe there. So, and we're going to talk about how to manage that. And I'm going to teach you strategies on how to overcome those blocks, because I don't want those to hold you back. So first of all, we're going to build that leadership brand. Then secondly, we're going to help you, or I'm going to help you to boost your executive presence. Like, you have to think about this, guys. Like, all these decisions of you getting a promotion, you getting appointed to a high visibility project, you getting a salary increase, any of those decisions are made with you not in the room. Let me repeat this, because it's so important. Any of these decisions of you getting a promotion, You getting assigned to a high visibility project and making a true impact. You're getting a salary increase without you asking for it first. These are all decisions made with you not in the room. So think about it. You want to create an executive presence, and that's why executive presence is so important. That doesn't mean that you have to be a part of the executive team. No, you have to show up, hold the space as a leader, have that executive presence. And so we're going to boost that to make sure that the leadership brand that we build, that you know how to activate that, because it's not enough to just have the label, oh, I have a leadership brand, and look at this, it looks good on paper, ta-da. So it's not good to just have that. You need to know and understand how to activate that in the workplace, how to live and breathe that, how to own it so you can use that to your advantage and increase your influence, because that is what we also want to do, is increase your influence. Because if you increase your influence, you are going to make an impact. That is as simple as that. And so what we're also going to look at is how you can recruit your support squad and your alliances, how you can convert the relationships that you have into alliances. Now, I have worked with so many senior leaders that are great at relationship building and great at stakeholder management. But when it comes down to converting those relationships to alliances, and with alliances, I mean like people that vouch for you, that have your back, that connect you to internal and external job opportunities, career opportunities, or job opportunities, that basically are vouching or advocating for your ideas, those are the alliances, and those alliances you want to have. So basically, that is a program. So during 6 weeks, it's a very intensive leadership program. It's a very small group. We're going to build your your leadership brand. We're going to boost your executive presence, and we're going to increase your leadership influence. So if that is of interest, reach out to me today. Ideally, we start the 13th of September, but reach out today, because today is the early bird finish and you can save some money, which is also always interesting. So I will pop a link below, so go and check it out. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm not this person in my ivory tower, hey, puppets dance. So you can approach me. I will answer your questions. Send me just a direct email and I'm more than happy to help you, or send me a direct message on LinkedIn or whatever channel that you use. I hope this helped. I hope this inspired you to stop being vanilla and really owning your greatness and stepping into your authenticity. So thank you so much, and I hope to speak to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.